Huh. 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 Oh, look, what the villagers kind of passive mob cap. Hey, how's it going? Where's it? Okay, all right, fine. Hello, gamers. This is DNH, and welcome back to SkyBlock, Quickcarpet. Okay. Here's the deal. All right. So it's almost night. Let me sleep. So, last episode, I talked about, I want to make some platforms. It's not going to let me sleep anytime quickly because the sun was just going down, but that's okay. So last episode, I talked about I wanted to make some platforms and to spawn some passive mobs. And so, yeah, that's fine. Great. Wonderful. So I started off in a taiga biome, which is actually not very far from here. And we're gonna go see it. Like take you on a little tour, little field trip. Wonderful stuff. Hey, there's gonna be iron golems in there. There's always iron golems in there. Stupid, the stupid river that they cannot get out of, but that's fine. So I got some cobblestone together, which is great. Now grass is a little bit harder. I still have to grind. I still have to grind silverfish at the silverfish farm. I had I had a commenter who is pointing out that I need to do better at automating. I absolutely agree with that because cobblestone is wonderful to get, but grinding like gravel is really tough. And there are ways to automate that. They're a lot more complex. The SciCraft group is really good at doing that. I probably need to work on that, but right now I manually ground some gravel, made some dirt, did the thing, and I built this pad out here in the taiga biome. So see, it says taiga, big grass platform out in the taiga biome. And I waited out here not that long, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes. Not a damn thing spawned. Nothing spawned. Passive mob wise, it's obviously lit, so hostile mobs aren't going to spawn. The drowned will spawn in there, but I would sleep and stuff. So whatever. Didn't spawn anything. Okay, fine. No big thing. I mean, it was kind of weird because stuff usually spawns pretty quickly in SkyBlock because there's a lack of other like caves or other areas for things to spawn. But okay, fine, fair enough. So I moved on. I also wanted to build, because I wanted to spawn foxes. I mean, that's, I guess, the main thing for a taiga biome. I don't know. I mean, I think other stuff can spawn, like cows or sheep or whatever, but was looking to spawn foxes, and that's fine. So I didn't get that. Okay, fair enough. So I came out here to my jungle biome area. Again, not too far away necessarily. And I built a big grass pad out here. Now, before I'd even finished laying down most of the grass or spreading it or most of the dirt out here, I was already starting to get ocelots spawning. So I was like, oh, okay, and don't worry, I'll get there. Before you go into the comments and comment, I'll get there. It's fine. So I was like, oh, okay. There's not really any kind of problems. I'm not being patient enough, and I'm not doing. So there are some ocelots that spawned. And I'm definitely looking for those to spawn. But also, pandas are a big deal in the jungle biome, and also, parrots in the jungle biome? There's a number of things in the, cod is not as good as steak at keeping your hunger satiated, but I have so damn much cod that it doesn't matter. Anyway, so came out here, big jungle spawning, again, jungle. And there's a little bit of a river that runs through here. That's why this kind of changes color a little bit, but predominantly it's jungle, okay? And you can, there's an auto fisher that I can use to wait out here, in fact, and gather some things, which is kind of cool. Waiting over time out here, I spawned even more ocelots. Like if I waited here for 5 minutes, I'd probably spawn some ocelots. But I wasn't getting any pandas, wasn't getting any parrots, wasn't getting really anything else, okay? Okay, fair enough. See, there you go. There's an ocelot. They spawn pretty quickly, okay? And cool. Did it now that cats spawn because of the villagers, can you tame an ocelot into a house cat? I don't know. I don't have any raw fish, and I don't think cooked fish works on them. You're supposed to like sneak up on them and offer the thing. I don't know. I'm not going to do that right now anyway. I mean, if they change into normal cats, I'm not really, I mean, I have plenty of normal freaking cats. I'm not really looking for that. Anyway, so, that didn't, okay, ocelots, but no pandas, no parrots. Fine. So, I went and spent some more time at my beach and didn't get any turtles. And then I went out to the other grass platform that I was looking to build. I built in the flower forest biome, a big grass platform. Now, I'm not looking to spawn any animals out there. However, eventually when I go to 1.15, I am on 1.14 still, and I don't know if I'll get to talking about that in this episode. I'm pretty close. I wanted to finish the beach before I went to 1.15, just because replay mod was taking so long to get to 1.15, although now replay mod is on 1.15. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, well, that's really it. So I probably will be updating to 1.15 soon, but anyway, I wasn't looking to spawn any animals on that pad, although bees, you can, with this, spawn in a flower forest. If you bone meal trees, you have a chance of spawning a beehive out there. Anyway, mostly I just wanted to collect flowers, okay? So I built that grass platform out there, and it works great. I mean, I bone mealed a bunch of stuff out there, which was kind of interesting. And I spawned some flowers out there, but I wasn't spawning any passive mobs whatsoever. And I expected like at least cows or something were gonna, I mean, it's a big grass field, right? And nothing would spawn. So I'd done this all a little bit ago, pretty soon after I had recorded the last episode, and then I took to YouTube and again got a comment from my wonderful commenter, Cogito Ergo Ludo. Once again, thank you. I appreciate that. I always appreciate all the. Sorry, I was looking over at the comment right now, so that's why I stopped running. So anyway, it's he commented on the passive mobs and stuff, and then came back and said, "Oh, hey, it just came to me. Villagers and iron golems count toward the passive mob cap 2 in 1.14." Rewatching Il Mango, he mentioned it. And there's in the carpet mod, there is a mob caps tab list. I don't know if it's standard. You have to type the command first, blah, blah, blah. So yeah. Yeah. So, so first of all, like hitting tab right now doesn't do anything because I'm not on a server. I mean, this is a single player thing. But I think you do have to type a command first, and I'll get to that. So, yeah. Passive mobs, villagers count to the passive mob cap. So if we again go with the bounding box, that big red box that extends out here, all of these villagers that are in here and in here and in there and in all of those brick buildings over there, and even for this, like maybe. Not, like, so looking at the red box, right? Like it ends right here. So anything on this side, any of the villagers over this side of the mob cap don't count. But any of these guys that are on that side, so yeah, basically you can see the red line in here. Any of these iron golems, any of those guys count. Pretty much, yeah. So those guys all count all the way up to this line right here. Yeah, and then the iron golem farm and all of those villagers are within this box also. So yeah, that's not good. All of those guys are supposedly counting to the passive mob cap. So that would explain why nothing is spawning, certainly. Passive-wise, ocelots are, while they're quasi-passive, they are counted in the hostile mob cap. That's why ocelots were and are spawning on that platform. Basically, they don't count toward the mob cap. And you can tell, like, why is the line higher now? I re-hit the B button while I was up over on that thing. If you hit B and then B again, it basically sets this stuff at whatever level you're standing. So then if so you could see it's kind of flush with the ground, but if I were to stand up on like this box, for example, and B, then it's flush with the box. So that's why that happens. So you can see that the villagers are all within this box, and so there's like 16 villagers in there. And honestly, the passive mob cap is really only like 10. Like, it's pretty low. So realistically, even though I moved the cows and and all of these things outside the passive mob cap, like I still theoretically have a ton of passive mobs. I could show you the flower platform, but honestly, I probably put a small clip of that in the beginning of this video. That's kind of my plan. And it's really just a grass platform that I just bone meal to get flowers. And it works pretty well. It's cool. I like it. So yeah, that's not good. That there are so many villagers within this spawn chunk bounding box. So here's the problem, and so that's the problem. Now, the question mark is, what am I going to do about it? So the first thing I am going to do is I'm going to go into a test world. I've basically made a backup copy of this world. And actually 2 backup copies of this world. So I'm going to go into the first one. And here we go. I was standing in the same position from the beginning. This is just a backup copy of this world. And so I'm going to do that. I thought about just, filming this and going around and, freaking you guys out or whatever. But I decided not to make. I was going to go around slaughtering all of the villagers, and I just went crazy and killed them all. But I decided not to freak you guys out like that. I'm absolutely going to do this in a test world. So there you go. I guess I will go into game mode creative, just because I am going to test this stuff. The key to this is testing. Okay. Now let's see. The first thing is let's see if I can do this mob cap thing. So log mob caps. Okay. Okay. So if I hit tab now, it shows the mob cap thing. Now I don't know what those mean. They're dimensions. Okay, so the first one is hostile mobs because it's 70, and the second one is passive mobs because it's 10. So there are 17 of 10, and these are all. It's because I'm in the it's because I'm in basically the spawn chunks, right? So that's counting against it, and then the 15, 15, 15 is the nether and end and I don't know what the other 15 is off the top of my head. The nether and the end, right? Those are the only other dimensions. I can't even think right now. Okay, so fair enough. Again, this is a completely different world. So I should really get a better sword, actually, just to make things quicker. But yeah, all right. So we are going to take that. Why not? And yeah, so let's go in here. And okay. Sorry guys, hate to do this to you, but you know, still 17. Still 17. I don't know if it's registering 17 as a particular number for some reason. Okay. Okay. 18. It actually went up. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna go around and just kill a bunch of these things, so. I probably should kill the villagers first. And let's get them all out of bed. Okay, so I have went around and I have killed every villager, iron golem, and whatever I could find. And this number is still listing 17 out of 10. Now, the other number, I'm assuming that's hostile mobs, the 23 out of 70, because 70 is much higher, is I believe the hostile mob cap. Now, that number is lower right now. It was more like 50 out of 70. And but I didn't notice that number necessarily going down. I think it's just wherever I was, stuff was spawning at that point. I don't know. But the number 17 of 10, I had way more than 17 villagers, by the way, and that number never seemed to go down at all. The only time it went down, it eventually went up to 18 and then 19. And the only time it went down was when I killed a cat, which was over in the library. It went back down to 17. So, yeah, I don't know. Now, also, I would say that while these guys are technically out of the spawn area, I may be loading these chunks still, and there's closer to 17 of these. Now, there are, if we look at the number 17, there are 12 of these guys, and then there are 5 llamas and 5 cats. Now, I don't know what does or doesn't count again, but it might be that the cats count because I killed a cat, and it might be the llamas don't count or vice versa. So let's assume for a second that these are what's counting. So if we kill one of these, okay, that went down 16. If we kill, I'm assuming that these count also, but let's just kill a cow. Okay, that went down. Let's just kill that. That went down. Okay. Now, do llamas count? Maybe if I move these far enough out, or maybe the drawing boxes for the spawn chunks is not accurate. Okay, so that went down. Do the cats count? I don't know. So that didn't appear to go down. Okay, maybe also that's not going down because those are tamed cats. Now, I did tame those cats, so maybe that removes them from the passive mob count. These llamas cannot be tamed, at least not to my appearance. So, let's just for argument's sake, kill enough of these things that, and I mean, I could kill them all. Again, this is a test world, but let's kill enough of them that I can spawn. Okay, so now we're down to 7. And let's hope nothing spawns here. And we're going to go over to the pad, and we're going to wait and see if still says 7. And we're going to wait and see if we can get a spawn of... Okay, actually, there you go. Wolves, I forgot about wolves, actually, duh. Wolves is something else that I want to spawn to get dogs, so that's good that those are spawning in a taiga biome. That's really excellent. Now we're back up to 12, so I'm going to, again, test world. I'm going to kill all this stuff anyway. Oh, that's harsh. I really like wolves, but I want to see if I can get some fox to spawn. Well, the number went up to 11, but I don't see anything that spawned. That worries me that maybe something spawned over here within an area that still might be loaded. Yep. And it's cows. So if I okay. Oh, and the wolves killed a sheep. All right. If I change my chunk distance, let's say my render distance to something really small. Does that make a difference? It still says 10 of 10, probably because it's spawn chunks. But obviously I'm not even loading in that that thing anymore, so let's see how this does. Okay, so here are some foxes. So I waited around out here. I lowered the chunk distance a pretty good amount and waited around, and some foxes spawned, which is great. Really, really great. And in fact, I'm going to kill them. Sorry. But again, testing purposes, testing world. So, oh man. Can't kill them with one hit on this? Wait, that's harsh. What did they drop? Wheat. Weird. Oh, I think they drop random things, like they can drop emeralds or something. Okay. I would say, oh, it's an egg. Okay, I would say, oh, let me not do it, but I'm trying to test this, so I do need to kill these guys. Sorry. Or maybe more importantly, the cows and stuff, but that's fine. Okay, so I've learned a couple of things. So on that list, actually, interestingly, the So the 70 is hostile mob. I was looking online at some information while I was doing this. So just to educate you all, the 70 is hostile mobs, and right now there are none. I don't have a lot of chunks loaded. I'm gonna try to stay away from grass as much as possible, so I don't spawn other things. I'm gonna go kill the rest of those animals just to clear up some cap space. But anyway, the 70's hostile, the 10 is passive, the 15 is actually bats. So they have their own cap. The 15 that's blue is water-based mobs. Squid and dolphins. That explains why dolphins as a passive mob were spawning. And then those. Okay, 0. So that's what the blue one is, and then the other 15 is miscellaneous, which I'm not entirely sure what falls under miscellaneous, but whatever. Oh shoot, passive mob spawn somewhere. Okay, well that's fine, fair enough. It's only one. So maybe that was the good part about not letting them. Okay, so I'm gonna try to come over here. Now I'm gonna try to go to my jungle area and see if I can spawn passive mobs in my jungle area. So really, it might not be the villagers are hurting the mob cap. At least it doesn't appear that way. It's just I probably need to move the mobs outside of my spawned in area. Okay, so I'm gonna wait out here. Hopefully not too long, but I'm gonna wait out here for some passive mobs to spawn. So, interestingly enough, the ocelots it said applied to, or it said it spawned based on the passive mob cap, but they seem to, or based on the hostile mob cap they spawned, which is why they spawned according to the thing. But it seems that they count in the passive mob cap, which is interesting. Yeah, weird. So there is stuff spawning out here. Obviously, why do I have a new recipe? That's weird. Oh, because it was a different color. Well, okay. Stuff is spawning out here. Obviously, I was trying to get pandas or parrots or something, but basically, I mean, it's a jungle biome. I assume. Well, there's 4 now still. Oh, yeah. And so definitely these are counting toward the passive mob cap, even if they're not. Okay. Even if they're not following the spawn rules, they were still spawning. I still had mob cap room for them. Okay. Well, I don't need to necessarily wait for pandas or whatever to spawn. I'm gonna go to the beach. And this is the true test. See what happens with turtles, okay? I will be back. Woo. This is so exciting. Okay, so I'm still in the test world, okay? So, but turtles have spawned. They're capable of spawning. I'm ecstatic about this. So if we look at the tab, there were, while I was waiting, there were water mobs in the ocean. So that blue 15 is water-based mobs. But I was waiting here, and oh hey, even more turtles spawned. Spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. And if I fly close enough over here, you see that blue one populates. That's aqua-based mobs spawning in this little pool I have here. So yeah, there's a couple dolphins. There's some squid. I guess fish count. There can only be 16 fish at a time. Wow, that seems pretty restrictive. I guess, I don't know. But yeah, spectacular. I don't want to show you guys too much of the beach, so just because it's a project that I'm working on. But yeah, right here, I can show you this. I can show you that the turtles are spawning, which is great. There you go. So, woohoo. Okay. Spectacular. Now, so I'm going to go back out, go to my second test world here. Now, again, this is starting up that same area where I had copied it over. So all of the log mob caps. Okay, so all of the things are restored. So we have the 17 of 10, and everything should be fine. Now all of the villagers are still there. I haven't. And I'm not in creative anymore. Okay. Right. It's much easier to fly around. I need to do something about an elytra, but I'm not doing that. So the iron golems are still there. All the villagers, you can see the guys in there. Everything is still where it is. This is before this is a restored world. So before my killing spree, obviously things are there. And I'll just time set it today. That's fine. So we have the 17 of 10. I'm curious if so is it still that these guys are counting in spawn chunks? So obviously the cats didn't do anything. I'm gonna kill these 17 things. I could go get that looting sword again, but that didn't seem to do a whole hell of a lot, so whatever. Although I should do the crits. That seems to work better. Okay, back to 0. And I'm gonna go test in the jungle area. Okay, so I just spawned 2 sheep and 2 parrots out here in the jungle. Awesome. Again, still test world, the second test world. So the villagers are still alive. So the villagers and whatever iron golems are around don't appear to be contributing to the mob cap, which is good. Because that was going to really, really impact things. I was considering whether or not I needed to maybe relocating stuff would have been absolutely crazy. Maybe relocate my spawn point, like set the world spawn at a different point, just to try to get those things unloaded. Now, now this is obviously way outside of those red boundaries. Now when I moved the cows and the sheep before, they weren't that far outside of the red boundary, okay, I admit. And so maybe that red boundary isn't very perfectly drawn, or maybe it's calculating spawn chunks. Honestly, it could be 1 or 2 circles off and still be contributing to that. But I want to test, let's just go with, let me get some parrot spawn eggs here. So if I spawn 3, 4, 5, blah blah. Okay, so I'm gonna go above the mob cap. Now my question mark comes. This is obviously again way outside of the loaded chunks. Can I get to where those things are no longer loaded? Because, yeah, if I move the cows and the sheep way outside of the spawn chunks, is it going to... it should get to where they're Now, honestly, will it get to where they despawn? Is that what happens when you move far enough outside? I don't know. I don't think so. I'm going to go... Okay, okay, so now they've gone way down. I'm going to go back to that area. This is important because, okay, they're back up. And it's the same 13, so I'm assuming that they stay there, but they just unload. So then if I go to a different area, I can still spawn mobs. I could go all the way out to the flower forest. I guess I'll show you guys the flower forest real quick and go all the way out there and see if I can spawn more passive mobs out there. All right, so here's my flower forest area. I put a bunch of grass in the flower forest so that I can bone meal it and get flowers. You'll see that I also put the 2 tall flowers that I've collected elsewhere, and then I have chests for all the various types of flowers. So this is a great way to get flowers to make dyes and stuff. I also noticed that when you bone meal an area, like the same flower tends to spawn in that area. I don't know why I'm taking from there. I'm in creative right now on a world where I'm not going to keep any of this, but whatever. So yeah, if you bone meal like in this area, it's going to be the purple. Over here, it's going to start some of the tulips or the red. So the tulips are there. The white ones are there. And more tulips. And then over here, it's going to be the oxeye daisies. See those start to spawn. So every time you bone meal within a given region, it seems to be the same type of flowers. So now it's still saying 0 of 10 way over here. So I don't know if I think like cows and sheep and stuff can spawn in a flower forest. I don't know. I guess I'll wait here for a little bit and see if that happens. Okay, so I was over in the flower forest, and while I was waiting, I looked it up, and the only thing that can spawn passively in the flower forest are rabbits, which is cool, although they have a much slower spawn rate, and I didn't feel like waiting. So I came back to here where there was a lot more space, and yes, I was able to spawn a chicken and 2 sheep. Obviously, we still have the iron golems, we still have the villagers, and maybe more importantly, we still have oh, hey, something else just spawned too. Oh yeah, over here. I got 4 more chickens that just spawned. Good. And most importantly of all, if I go all the way over here to the jungle biome area, now see it launched up to 20 because we still have those 13 other passive mobs over here in the jungle biome. So fair enough. Excellent. I can spawn things with stuff still on the map, and I'm assuming once I get into view, we'll see those sheep and those birds that I spawned. Yeah, so excellent. They're over here, and yeah. Now, in fact, everything's loaded right now, so I'm above the passive mob cap. Good though. So I can spawn things, the villagers, at least in this, and keep in mind I'm using 1.14.2, I think. Whatever or maybe 4.5, whatever the latest version of 1.14 is. I still haven't updated to 1.15, but it appears that in this version, villagers and iron golems do not affect the passive mob cap. So my problem is that for whatever reason, these guys are still in the loaded or spawn chunks over here, at least it appears, when I move out. So I am going to need to, this box with the B button that this draws is apparently an estimation of some kind, or it's wrong or whatever. I don't know. And like looking at it, 16 blocks, like really maybe 1/2 chunks more is all it takes to still be loaded in there. So yeah. I just need to adjust that. I need to move these guys somewhere else. Apparently, cats don't appear to, at least tamed cats. Now, cats that spawn based on the villagers that are running wild do appear to count. Wild cats do appear to count toward that mob cap because when I killed one over in the library, that mob cap went down. At least that was to my notice. So, I guess with villagers being concentrated in these spawn chunks, I do have to kind of worry about if I lower the number of other passive mobs and stay around this area, they might be spawning cats. But that's fine. I think I can control it enough that I can spawn the things that I need / want, like turtles and foxes and parrots and pandas and whatever. Obviously, that's my goal. And yeah, So, not obviously a lot of stuff has happened, and I'm gonna clearly delete these worlds, and this isn't gonna mean anything. But a lot of education has happened here, so hopefully that helps you out if you're trying to work within these areas. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited that that seems to be figured out, and hopefully by the next episode, you'll maybe see some legitimately spawned animals. I don't know. But happy to have figured that out. I'm continuing to work on the beach. I'm hoping to have that time lapse out pretty soon. Obviously, you see some nice grass platforms built in these areas. So yeah, 4 spawns built in these areas. So I'm excited about it. I'm gonna go. This has probably been a long episode. I mean, I'm gonna cut a bunch of this stuff, but still, I had a lot of kind of back and forth that I recorded. I am gonna go. As always, gamers, have a good evening, day, and night. Minecraft, time-lapse, mob traps, world maps, cat naps, rap tracks, perhaps. You'll tune in and watch the hijinks, and if you like, click the up and subscribe links.